Hello and welcome to the Frugal Granny UK channel. I'm Frugal Granny, my name's Ali, I'm 64.5 years old and I will be retiring from my job in higher education admin at the end of June. I've made this channel to document my run up to retirement, my preparations and how I cope with my change in circumstances once I've left my office job. Well, today it's Bank Holiday Monday in England. Most people are off work doing lovely and wonderful things. I'm about to drink a cup of tea and go down to the supermarket to work an extra shift. As I've said to you all before, I work 35 hours in an office job every week and 18 hours or 3 shifts in a supermarket. Today I've picked up an overtime shift and I will be going off down there soon to check groceries out all day. That means that I've not really got time today to do a really fancy video, so the prepper pantry haul that you've all been asking for is going to have to wait for another day, but I promise you I will do it, and I will show you in a second why I can't make that video just yet, so please be patient with me. I'm just going to flip this camera around now and we're going to have a quick walk and talk through my kitchen and garden before I drink my tea and go down to the supermarket. Welcome to my kitchen. This is my kitchen sink area, and as you can see it's 7:45 in the morning. The coffee pots are there waiting for my son when he gets up. I've had 2 of those donuts for breakfast. Not brilliant, I know, but they were there. And there's my cup of tea. I'm all ready to go off to my shift. I've got some water, I've got some grapes in a tub for nibbling, and that broccoli was in the shopping haul on Saturday, and look, it's gone yellow already. So I'm going to be taking that back to customer services and asking for a swap. So this is the Frugal Granny kitchen, and that's my little dining area, and as you can see the shopping haul is still on the table. I've put the stuff away for the cellar and obviously the fridge and the freezer, the things that need to go upstairs. But all of this has got to go into the prepper pantry at some point. Just haven't had time to do it because I will be honest with you, I worked an overtime shift on Friday night. I did the shopping on Saturday morning. I filmed the shopping haul. I went to pick up my son from his job, and then I went to do a shift at the supermarket, and then I came home after midnight and I was back at the supermarket again by 10 a.m. and then yesterday evening I cooked us a decent meal and I'm back to the supermarket again now. So this really has not had a minute to get put away, but as you can see, my son's already broken into the orzo. Him and his girlfriend had orzo on Saturday night and they said it was great. This is the pug Snug. It comes off the kitchen. This is where I sit in winter, and I can keep the back of the house nice and cozy and warm. So this tends to be my morning area, and I shift to the front room in the evenings. There's one of my many freezers with the onion basket on top. And while we're in here, I might as well just show you, that's my bottled preserved shelf. It's quite empty now. I've given a lot of the jam away. There's 3 jars of mincemeat there that need eating up. Some apples, they will be good for another winter. Rhubarb and ginger jam and some elderberry syrup, which I use for coughs and colds. And then what I wanted to show you is my grandmother's tea set. That's Old Leeds sprays. It's a Royal Albert design from the 1920s and 30s. My family's a long-standing Yorkshire family, and my father's side are from Leeds, and this is my grandmother's tea set, Old Leeds sprays. The last time it was used was, oh my goodness, 40 years ago now. That was my brother's funeral. We used those teacups because we didn't have enough teacups for the guests. He died very tragically in a car accident when he was 21, and we've not used those teacups since. But I'm really happy that I've been able to get them out on display. It's a lovely tea service. And there's my wood stove. That's one of my 2 wood stoves. And here, that's my other hutch, as the Americans would say, and I keep my everyday china in there. It's just white porcelain from John Lewis and Marks and Spencer's, glassware from IKEA, and then at the top there's a little bit of my Norwegian dinner set. It's called Fauna by Porsgrunn, and I absolutely love it. We bring it out on high days and holidays. The plates are all downstairs in some plastic tubs in the cellar. Anyway, let's go out into the garden. Oh, sunshine, my goodness me. Yeah, well, this is what I would rather be doing today, is getting all these plants into the ground. It really is rather pressing now, and I don't honestly know when I'm going to be able to do this. I'm hoping maybe I'm going to have some time on Thursday evening. I think I might be working again on Friday evening, so if these can last until next Saturday, we'll be all right. Otherwise, I may have rather shot myself in the foot. Some of them, as you can see already, are getting a bit too big. So what have we got in here? At the top there's some white flowering borage that needs to go out under the blackberry bush. Courgettes, they're still not big enough. And the purple sprouting broccoli definitely needs to go out, as do all these lettuces. Those 2 need chucking, they've gone to seed. I like to keep the red ones though. And there's some spinach there that needs to go in. The kale needs to go in. And the nigella, oh, that's some little oregano seedlings. They don't need to go in yet. And the nigellas, those cosmos, I'm just going to leave that a little bit longer because that's slug bait really. The leeks are still coming along. That nigella can probably go out. The nasturtiums need to go out or be given away. And there's some tomatoes here I got from my neighbour, and some more spinach. So somehow or other I've got to try and get all this in the ground in the next week. Otherwise it's going to be a bit of a waste of time and resources. So since last time we were out here, the daffodils in that tub have been replaced by a few nasturtiums, and that will make a very showy border of orange flowers at some point. The chive plant I bought at B&Q is going crazy, which is great. And that's the white flowering hydrangea. That will be going outside at the front once the renovations are done. The contractor will be starting on Wednesday. The scaffolding will be going up that day, and so I've got to bring the pots from the front round the back, and I think the plants in those pots are going to get, some of them are going to get discarded. This one and its twin, which is over here behind the oregano, they will go out front eventually when the renovation's over, along with this cistus plant, which will go in one of the pots that gets emptied, and this white flowering fuchsia. And in the bed behind me there's a twin to the fuchsia, and there's a convolvulus plant, so that will mean I've got 6 plants, which is what I like, 3 on each side of the bay window. Right, so what else have we got here? The strawberries are beginning to flower, which is great. Strawberries soon, hopefully. And the fig tree, the fruit is beginning to swell beautifully now. I'm really, really pleased with that. The rain we've had the last couple of days after 4 weeks of drought has made a really big difference. Look at those, look at that one. Oh, yep, the bay tree cuttings, I've got some leaves on them. The agapanthus is beginning to flower, and the rhubarb stems, can you see those in there, are ready for plucking. I think you can hear that magpie. I think I've got a magpie. Where is he? He's on the roof. I can't see him though. More strawberries that are flowering. The currant bushes unfortunately have not flowered or set fruit this year, and I think that's because I pruned them too hard at the end of last summer, so we're going to have to wait a year for that. I really had been toying with putting them in the flower bed or the vegetable bed where I normally plant kale, but I'm glad I held back now because I will be putting kale in there again this year. These really do need a bigger pot. Somebody asked me, how do you know how big a pot to put something in? Well, you just have to really go on the size of the plant, and as they get bigger, put them in a bigger pot, and that needs a bigger pot. That pot is bigger, but it's still not really big enough, which is why I was thinking of putting it in the ground. So I'm not really quite sure what to do. I'm just going to play it by ear, I think, this summer and see how the kale and things goes. If I can get hold of some bigger pots, I will, but they are getting quite expensive now. But 2 big pots here, one for each of these, would be great. I mean, that's the sort of size pot that I'm thinking about. And then they really are large and they are quite expensive. So to get 2 more of those would be a bit of a luxury at the moment. But I'm glad to say the ginger mint's beginning to come up. Some of it's damped off, which is a shame, but I'm hoping it will recover. And this here is an ordinary garden mint from the supermarket. I put that in last year and it's come back again this year, which is great. Let's just quickly have a look at the blueberries. They flowered quite prolifically. We may have a handful or 2 off that bush. The one at the end there's got nothing on it, and this one's got only very a few, but this is only, I think, their second summer, so I'm not too unhappy with that. But this one in the corner, that definitely needs trimming, and it might need to come out of that corner. It might just be too shady for it there, so I need to have a little think about that one as well at some point as one of my water butts. Right, and here's that white buddleia that replaced the crabapple tree, and this has got a leaf wilt virus, and I'm not sure quite what to do about this. The tree that was in here before also had a leaf wilt, or a leaf curl virus, sorry, and I think it must be in the soil. So if this doesn't sort itself out by pruning later, I'm going to have to empty this out, take the soil to the tip and start again. It's a bit of a shame, but just one of those things. That's what happens with gardens. You come across problems and you've got to solve them, but hopefully it'll still have some flowers on it. It's not flowering, not got any buds on it yet. Those are the daisies I picked up free from the park keeper. They've actually gone over quite quickly now, but they've been a little joy while they've lasted. So yeah, and I've got some white ones in another part of the garden. These will be replaced with the pot marigolds once they've gone into the compost bin. The sedum bed is proliferating. That little house leek down there that I thought was rotting is recovering a bit. These leaves here are still a bit rotten, but I'm not going to pull them off. And then there's another little one there. So hopefully that will recover a bit. And that one at the back, that's coming back too, the one with the variegated leaves. Right, the plum tree. I've got plums on it this year, look at that. So I'm trying to keep that watered so that the fruit doesn't fall off. Yep, I'm really pleased about that. And down here, the loganberries are setting fruit. There's loads of them, absolutely loads. And then under the loganberry, I've got some foxglove seedling there, and that will eventually look like those. I'm just being very careful here because I don't want my dustbins in shot. But they're looking beautiful. I had hoped they would be white, but pink is fine. Pink is fine. Right, this is the kale bed, and I still have not dug out that French majoram. It's on the verge of being cut to be dried for mixed herbs, Someone came through the till yesterday with a small tub of mixed herbs and it was £3.15, and I thought, you know, that is so expensive. And if I can get all this dried off, it'll probably last me a year or two. So that's another job to be done, is to get that cut and laid out and dried. And then we've got more strawberries flowering around the edge here. The agapanthus is beginning to have a bud, and look who's here. It's Kitty. One of you said, I want to see your dog. Well, there she is. That's the little Kitty. You can say hello, Kitty. Kitty, you say hello. No, she's not impressed. She wants her breakfast, and she's like, Mum, why are you out here in this cool breeze when we could be in the nice warm kitchen having breakfast? Right, there's the other fig tree. I can't raise the camera much higher because the sun's coming around the building and it's going to glare on the camera. And the blackberry bush, I'm so pleased, is beginning to have some flowers. Where's that one gone? There it is. Flowers. I honestly thought we weren't going to get any this year because, again, I cut it back very, very hard at the end of last summer. There's some more strawberries and the Chinese chives. And then these 4 shrubs here are the remains of the white garden I planted last summer when the slugs ate all the vegetables. So the white lavender is beginning to flower. There's a convolvulus there. The flowers have been a bit wrecked by the rain. Those are some more daisies from the park, but again, they're going over. They've not lasted, which is a shame. Another white fuchsia, and that's a white scabious, which isn't really a shrub. It's more of a perennial plant. I may just move that to the back of this border between the rosemary and the sage and just keep that there for some height and some flowers. So that sage is a purple flowering sage, and the rosemary is a purple flowering rosemary. I do like white flowers, but sometimes you just can't get the ones you want, but that's fine by me. It's okay. And there's the other white buddleia in the corner, which I think again has got a little bit of leaf curl, but not as bad as the other one. Right, so what have we got here? So I'll just back down the stairs. There's the pot marigolds that will go onto the windowsill once the daisies have finished. And then that oregano plant has gone crazy. That was a very small one I got from B&Q, and it's now gone crazy. That will probably go in that gap there. That used to have 2 or 3 oregano plants in it. I pulled them out last year when I made the white flowering garden, and I now regret it. And that oregano is going to go back in there. And then the geraniums are beginning to flower too. I've got 4 there. And there's 2 more over here. Yeah, right. Well, I can see I'm beginning to run out of time. I did want to talk to you a little bit about the worm bin, but I don't think today's the day. And there's another project sat there in the corner that needs cleaning up and respraying. So that's my garden at the moment. Not a lot has happened. Things have grown, and that's about it. And here, just to say goodbye to you before I go off to do my work, is the kitty on her beanbag. She loves her beanbag. I don't know if this is going to work because the sun's shining. You're a good kitty. You say hello, kitty. Oh, she's not impressed. Anyway, thank you very much for bearing with me today. Hopefully we'll have something with a little bit more substance later in the week. If I can get that stuff put away, then I'm hoping... No, we can't do a pantry tour on Saturday because I want to do the office salary budget, because that will be my penultimate salary check, and that needs to be budgeted quite carefully so that I meet my goals by the time I get to my retirement date. So we'll have a budgeting video on Saturday. Thursday will be our usual coffee and catch up. But anyway, there's my garden. I've got to drink my tea. I've all got my uniform on already under my jumper, so I've just got to get myself sorted out, chuck my jacket on and go. Hopefully the traffic won't be too bad this morning. Anyway, thanks for popping by. I hope you have a really, really, really lovely bank holiday, and maybe I will have a bit of chance to sit in the sun later when I get back from work. Thank you for dropping by. Bye bye now.